Welcome to the YouTube channel, My Story, with stories that touch your heart. The story I want to tell today is called Mother's Promise. The sun was setting over the quiet town of Maplewood as Emma sat cross-legged on the floor of her childhood home. The house was filled with memories, the scent of freshly baked bread, the faint rustle of leaves outside the window, and the echoes of laughter long past. But today, the house felt empty. It had been over 2 years since her mother passed away, and in all that time, Emma hadn't been able to bring herself to sort through her mother's belongings. The box before her was filled with old letters, neatly tied together with a faded ribbon. Emma's hands trembled as she untied the bundle, her heart pounding in her chest. She hadn't expected to find this, her mother's letters to her. The first letter was dated when Emma was just 5 years old. "My dearest Emma," the letter began, "you are a bright star in my life, and I promise you, my love, that you will grow up to do great things. The world is full of opportunities, and I know you will embrace them with all your heart. There will be challenges, but you are strong, my sweet girl. You can conquer anything." Emma's eyes blurred with tears as she read the words. She could hear her mother's voice in her mind, the soft, soothing tone that had always made her feel safe. But now her mother's voice was gone, and Emma was left alone with the promises of a future she had yet to fulfill. "Emma, my love, I know you are growing up so quickly, and I am so proud of the young woman you are becoming. I want you to remember this. No matter what life brings you, never let go of your dreams. They will guide you, even when the path seems unclear. You have the heart of a warrior, my girl, and you will fight for your happiness, no matter what." Emma's chest tightened as she read the words. Her mother had always believed in her, even when Emma had doubted herself. She had been the one to tell her that she could do anything, that nothing was impossible. But now, her mother wasn't there to guide her through the moments of self-doubt, the moments when Emma questioned whether she was living up to the promises her mother had made. The letters continued, each one a testament to her mother's love and belief in her. There were promises of a successful career, of love, of travel, and of happiness. But the promises seemed so distant now. Emma had grown up, but the world didn't seem as bright as her mother had promised. It had been 5 years since Emma had graduated from college, and though she had a job she loved, she felt unfulfilled. She had worked hard to build a career, but something was missing. A life her mother had promised seemed out of reach. Emma's relationships were strained. Her dreams seemed to fade further into the distance, and the weight of her mother's promises felt like an anchor dragging her down. As she read the final letter, written just before her mother's death, Emma could barely hold back the sobs. "My precious Emma," the letter began, "I know I may not be there to see you grow into the woman I know you can be, but I want you to know one thing. You are enough. You have always been enough. And the future you've been dreaming of is not far away. I have faith in you, and I will always be with you in your heart. Keep your promises to yourself, and don't let anything stop you from living the life you deserve." Emma couldn't stop the tears from falling. Her mother had always known exactly what to say. She had believed in Emma, even when Emma hadn't believed in herself. And now, her mother was gone, but the promises remained. Emma couldn't ignore them any longer. She had to fulfill them, for her mother, for herself. The first promise Emma decided to tackle was the one about travel. Her mother had always dreamed of seeing the world, but her illness had kept her from doing so. Emma had promised her mother that she would see the places they had always talked about visiting. So She began planning. She saved money, researched destinations, and slowly but surely, she began to make her dreams come true. The first stop was Paris. Emma had always dreamed of walking the cobblestone streets, gazing at the Eiffel Tower, and sipping coffee in the charming cafes. But when she stood at the base of the Eiffel Tower, she didn't feel the joy she had expected. She felt a deep sadness, a longing for the mother who had never gotten to see it. As she sat on a bench near the Seine River, Emma let herself grieve. She let herself feel the loss of her mother, the one person who had believed in her more than anyone else. But then something shifted. The sadness wasn't just about what she had lost. It was about what she had yet to gain. Emma realized that her mother's promise wasn't about achieving everything immediately, but about finding fulfillment along the way. With that realization, Emma made a vow to herself. She would not just fulfill her mother's promises to her, but she would create her own future. It wouldn't be perfect, and it wouldn't happen overnight, but it would be hers. The next promise she decided to keep was the one about love. Emma had always been afraid of opening her heart after her last relationship had ended in heartbreak. But her mother had always believed in her ability to love and be loved. So, Emma decided to take a leap of faith. She began dating again, and though it was scary, it felt right. With each step, Emma found herself healing and rediscovering her ability to love, not just others, but herself. Her career, too, began to change. Emma had always been passionate about art, but she had put those dreams on hold to focus on her job. But now, she started painting again, filling her home with colors and canvases. She even started showing her work at local galleries, and to her surprise, people loved it. Emma realized that her mother had been right. She had the heart of a warrior, and her dreams could become a reality if she fought for them. But the most important promise Emma kept was the one about happiness. For so long, she had been chasing success, trying to live up to everyone's expectations, including her own. But now, she understood that true happiness wasn't about achievements or recognition. It was about finding peace within herself. Emma learned to appreciate the small moments, the quiet mornings with a cup of coffee, the laughter of friends, and the joy of being present in the moment. Years passed, and Emma continued to live a life that honored her mother's promises. She traveled the world, built meaningful relationships, and found fulfillment in her work. But more than anything, she found peace in knowing that her mother's love would always be with her, guiding her, even when she couldn't see it. Reflection and lesson. In the story of Emma's journey to fulfill her mother's promises, we find a powerful lesson about love, loss, and self-empowerment. Emma's story is one of transformation, as she moves from grief and uncertainty to a place of healing and fulfillment. Her mother's promises were not just words on paper. They were a roadmap for Emma's life, a guide to finding her own strength and purpose. One of the most touching elements of the story is the relationship between Emma and her mother. Even after her mother's death, Emma continues to feel the influence of her love and belief in her. This highlights the power of parental guidance and the impact it can have on our lives long after they are gone. Her mother's unwavering faith in her, even in the face of illness and death, serves as a constant source of strength for Emma as she navigates her adult life. The lesson here is clear. Life is not about achieving perfection or meeting every expectation set for us. It is about embracing the journey, facing challenges head-on, and honoring the promises we make to ourselves. Emma's story teaches us that fulfillment is not something we find in the future. It is something we create in the present, with each decision we make and each step we take toward our dreams. At the heart of this story is the idea that happiness is not something that can be given to us by others. It is something we must choose for ourselves. Emma's mother may have made promises about her future, but it was Emma's choice to fulfill them. This reflects a universal truth. While we cannot control the circumstances of our lives, we have the power to shape our own destinies. Through love, loss, and perseverance, we can create lives that are meaningful and fulfilling, just as Emma did. In the end, Emma's journey is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It is a reminder that even in our darkest moments, there is always the possibility of growth and renewal. Just as Emma fulfilled her mother's promises, we too can fulfill the promises we make to ourselves, no matter how daunting they may seem. The key is to keep moving forward, one step at a time, and to never lose sight of the love and hope that guide us along the way.